Hello,
Let's go.
everybody. Good morning. Hope you had a very good morning. I'm your host, PS. I have with me Helmut. We are here for the morning show of Saturday on Lovebyte 2021. Hello, Helmut. How's it going? Great
Good
morning to
morning.
you.
Yeah, I had a few hours of sleep after the blast yesterday. It was awesome. So yeah, I'm fine. I'm fit for the new day. Let's see what's going.
How did you like the activities that happened yesterday? Mostly, we had the opening show, the Nano Awards, and DJ set by Tio, and some other small stuff in between. But mostly, I guess the highlight was the Nano Award, especially for you. You ended up winning a Nano Award. Congratulations!
Yes, thank you. I was lucky enough to win that one, and I wasn't sure because I had a lot of good competition. Especially, I was aware of Chrome Revenge from Abaddon from Tomcat because it's a 1K intro and it's a brilliant intro. I gave it a heart, so I wasn't sure about that one. And also, if you pit all these entries together in one separate
Single
selection,
category.
yeah, you don't know. You have like one entry was the Edge Dancer with a Raspberry Pi with a powerful console and also a good effect, and you never know if the audience would be the same like the same on revision or like a jury would say. You don't know the audience, so I wasn't really sure. And I think we have like numbers to.
Yeah, I take a look at the results, and it was like you got 261 points, and the second place got 240, and then there's like a conglomerate of 4 or 5 productions that are all very close to 240. And the second place was actually Hydraulic Pixels by Ionic of Astro Idea, which for me was a surprise because I didn't particularly like it, but I guess it's a matter of taste. I can see the
Yeah.
tech behind it. And then third place we had Bitrunner by Digimind, which was my actual favorite of the whole bunch. And you also got Gesperterwald there in fourth place, and
Yeah.
Chrome Revenge was the fifth place, but very close to with the other ones. So
I will never understand audiences. Like yeah, I don't know.
it
Uh,
depends a lot since we're talking about technical things mixed with subjective opinions. It's always hard to like have a balance between explaining the whole tech, and we tried to do a bit of that in the pre-show that we had, where we saw all the nominees and talked a little bit about them. But it's still hard to vote, and I guess most people who voted also didn't see the show. So well, and also in the show we might have influenced people in one way or the other. It's good that people have their own independent minds, but well, at the end of the day, it's always a subjective award. So congratulations anyway, and congratulations to
yes.
everyone who got nominated. After all,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was
too. So I'm happy. All I can say, I'm happy. So thanks for the vote. It could have gone differently. That's all I can say. I wasn't to the last point. I wasn't entirely sure. Everybody was telling me, "Yeah, you will win that," and yeah, but what if not? I mean, and it was
maybe.
close. Yeah, yeah, because four people voting differently, and I don't win this thing. So yeah, that's how it is.
We're talking about the high-end tiny intro, but we also had the
Yes.
old school tiny intro. And actually, if we compare the total results, you actually would have gotten second place. Moonrise got 267 votes by Ilmanit.
Yeah.
Was this were you expecting that win on the old
Yeah, yeah,
school?
totally. I mean, I was praising in the last shows. I was praising specifically that entry because it has like you see it, and at a first glance you understand what's going on. It is a concept, and it immediately gets to the brain, to the heart, to the soul. You're like, oh, that's just beautiful. And you know the platform is an Atari XL.
Atari
Yeah,
XE XL, yeah.
yeah, and it's a very in
It's a
comparison to
8-bit
DOS.
machine.
Yeah, it's a very low end machine. So you have to have a concept, and I said it I think on stream and to Image in person. I was like praising the entry, and to me it wasn't a surprise. I totally expected that one to win. For the
Hmm.
rest, I don't know like the other
Second
ones.
place was Dotty Vale by Blueberry for the Commodore 64, which was also quite stylish. And then third place was Ilmanit again with Galactic Bearing, so very close call.
Yeah.
I was actually expecting the Spectrum stuff to place a bit better, but again, it's a matter of personal taste, I guess. Maybe it's because I don't know the Atari as well, so I don't know. Or maybe more Atari people voted. I don't know. Anyways, doesn't really matter. Congratulations to the winners. Congratulations to the nominees. Hope you guys, everyone who is watching, found some cool nano intro stuff for you to see and share with your friends. That kind of stuff. Let's move on, and we have some statistics for the number of productions that we had on Lovebyte. We broke world records on the number of submitted
We did.
executable compo entries for a party. The previous record was from Assembly 94, which had 202 entries, I believe. And this time we got total executable entries 245. We are not reaching 256, but we did reach 256 if we count the pixel graphics and that kind of stuff. And 256 is like a very round number for programmers, so it's important that we reach it. That was one of the goals, but 245 executable entries is out of this world. I have no clue how Super Rogue and Havoc are gonna be able to squeeze all of this into the schedule to show all of these entries. They were limited to 1 minute. You had to request for you to show a slightly bigger video, and if you had like 2 minutes, they would ask you to cut down the video a little bit. But still, that's gonna be tough. We have some graphics that I would like to show you. First, the entries per byte limit. We had a lot of entries for the 256 byte. About 38% were for the 256, which was to be expected. Also because we have a lot of compos on this limit, both the fantasy and the high end and the old school, so at least three. And also the game was also rounded at 256 bytes, so it was to be expected that there were a lot of entries for this. But we also saw a significant number of entries for very small, like 8 byte and 16 byte has also a big significant chunk, like 13%. I wasn't expecting 13% of our entries to be for the 8 byte. Was this something you were expecting, Elmud?
No, not at all. I mean, it's easy to come up with something in this region, but I would have thought it's like totally more skewed into the 256 byte and maybe 128 direction, and the rest would be like very rare. But it seems that we really attracted all the size coding potential out there in the world, and suddenly everybody is reminded of the possibilities of his or her like favorite platform, and they are kicking out all these productions. Like it's a lot. Like just by the numbers, it's amazing. Like the amount of 32 byte productions is like 40 or something. Like this is, imagine it like in a row. You're sitting there for 1 hour. You have 1 minute, and you just go straight through entry by entry by entry. This feels like the revision demo compo or something. Like it will be very long, but I'm
uh,
looking forward to it. Actually, I'm excited.
yeah, I'm excited as well. I'm wondering how they're going to pull it off, and I hope the presentation of the thing gives you time to live vote. That's one of my worst
Yes.
fears at this point. So let's make sure you have a second screen ready to live vote as you're watching the stuff, because I think you're going to need it. I have that impression.
You have to. I think there's no other way. I mean, unless you remember, have a good memory, and you know by the screenshot what you are thinking when you were seeing the entry. But of course, you're right. You have to have two screens, one for the actual show and one for the voting to have the live voting available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have another statistic, which is the total byte count of stuff submitted, which is around 31 megabytes of small intros delivered, 31 312 bytes to be precise. And we have another chart to show you, which is the entries per platform. And this seems to be mostly dominated by for DOS. For those who don't know, we had a lot of entries for the TIC 80 as well, curiously enough, which was sort of we had a few entries already, but in this last couple of days, we had an extra boom of submissions for the TIC 80, which is really cool to see. And I think the TIC 80 got a lot of exposure out of Lovebyte, so I think they're thrilled for Lovebyte giving so much people into their platform, which is cool. I did an entry for the TIC 80, so I'm one of the people in this 15%. Helmut, did you try any TIC 80 stuff as well?
Not originally, but then I got hyped like in the last 2 days, and I had like I think I coded in 2 lunch breaks. I coded something. I mean, it's not it's not really overwhelming, but I think it shows a point. Like I can just open the editor and type something, and I have everything available, and it just runs. And you have your compression tools, and you have a 256 byte entry in like 2 hours. So it's absolutely doable. And I saw like yesterday in a chat there was truck also trying to finish something, and
Yeah.
like that shows like people from all over the demo scene can just enter this because everybody knows it. Like also the shader showdown guys like able to like with
Flopin did a entry as well.
Yeah, so everybody can jump right into it, and I think that makes lot of the activity of the platform. Like, it's an old school computer, but actually it has like modern resources. It's fast. It's not a
Hmm.
low end computer. It's just a low end style, but it's high end from the resources. So you can do crazy things which you might not be able to do on real old school platforms. And I think that's a special charm. Like, it connects the both ends, so the high end, the low end, the modern, and the retro stuff.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah,
So
might be an
that
explanation.
explains a lot the charm that the platform is having, which was already taken from the Pico 8, the success that the Pico 8 had, and TIC 80 was more like a remake of the Pico 8 in a more open source way, from what I gathered. Um, we also had a lot of entries for the Atari XL and for the Spectrum, which is really cool. I was particularly impressed with the Atari. Well, a lot of size coding activity happens on the Atari, so I was not that impressed in the way that I was surprised, but I'm happy to see that so many of the size coding people from the Atari scene decided to participate in Lovebyte. Spectrum also had a big representation, 11% of submissions, which was quite cool to see. And then the Commodore 64 is one of the other ones that are closely following, and a whole different kind of a lot of different entries. We have stuff for the Apple II, for the Atari Lynx, for Linux, Game Boy Color, JavaScript, all sort of stuff. I really love this. Helmut, do you have any thoughts on the diversity of platforms that we have?
Yes, I actually had to look something up because the Auric I had in mind, there was some demo from 2014 which I liked, but in general, I can just say I'm impressed by the variety of all the platforms. Like, who would have thought? I mean, normally, if the Lovebyte was initially an idea, when not if when it was originally an idea, we had like maybe like, do we get 5 entries or 6 per category or whatever? And then now there are like more categories, and you have normally entries in one category. So that's amazing.
Yep.
Like, we have everything from every, well, with the, no, not even with the exception, we have also Amiga, but
Amiga had like
yes,
one entry.
yes,
What's up with that? Amiga coders,
I
what's
don't
up
know.
with that? You're not making our life easier to be able to shout Amiga at Lovebyte if you don't submit entries. We need more Amiga shouts on this place. So please submit more stuff. Well, now it's too late, but for next year,
Yeah. So
please
maybe
try to
it's because
submit some stuff.
it's a Amiga, so it's just, we can just have a an entry, one entry.
I think it might be like size coders for Amiga are used to doing boot block stuff, and boot block, I believe it's 512 bytes. If I'm wrong, I'm sure some people on the chat will correct me. And I don't care if I'm wrong because I'm not an Amiga owner, so I'm entitled to being wrong in that regard. But because of that, I think people, when they size code for the Amiga, they think about 512 bytes or like 4 kilobytes or 40 kilobytes. They don't think about 128 or 8 bytes or stuff like that. So that's my guess. I don't know what you guys think on the chat. Let us know on your comments there. Anyways, we have to move on. We have one more chart to show you, which is the entries per compo. This one is a lot more divided. A couple of them, or three of them, four of them stand out, and I hope I get the colors correct. I think the top ones is the 64 byte, the 256 old school intro, 256 high end intro, and I believe the other one is the fantasy console. I'm going to check this real quick as Helmut does his commentary.
It's an equally sized pie, I see. This is interesting to see. It's just fair and square with a slight lack of nano games. They are a bit reduced, but
So I have specific numbers: 8 byte intro showcase, 39 entries.
wow.
Then 32 byte intro, 41 entries, so very close, which is the most submitted one. Then the third closest submitted one, 64 byte intro, and then the old school 256 bytes. So these are the top submitted entries. We have 22 entries for the fantasy console, which is quite amazing in my opinion. I'm very looking forward for that compo. And then we have a ridiculous amount of pixel graphics submitted, 62 entries, and Bytebeat Music 18 entries, a Nano Game 18 entries, just huge, ridiculous numbers throughout the whole thing. I'm very looking forward to seeing all this stuff placing out later today and tomorrow. Helmut, any last comments before we move on to the schedule that is coming up?
I can just say, wow, I'm amazed. There's so many entries, like especially for 32 byte category, which I'm a huge fan of, and also 64. I would never have imagined that so many people have an idea to submit something. So it's I'm very amazed and very excited to see all this stuff.
I
How it
feel
plays.
bad I didn't do more entries. I mean, I couldn't
Yeah,
because
shame
of
on you.
reasons, but I really wish like situations were different. I wanted to participate in a lot more of these categories. Anyways, moving on with the segment, I want to go briefly through the schedule for today and then chat a little bit with Helmut what he's more looking forward. Feel free to in the chat to also mention what you guys are and girls are mostly looking for. So coming up next at 10:30, we have the best of Atari size coding intro show, which is gonna be cool to see some Atari stuff, followed by a seminar on how to get coding on 6502 by Freddy. We have the all new 8-byte intros showcase around noon, which is gonna be a massive compo. And 1 hour later, if they manage to do things fast enough, I think we'll get some small delays there. At 1 a.m., we will have a size coding roundtable hosted by me with guests Super Rogue, Tomcat, and F Ready. In the afternoon at 2:30, we'll have the ByteBit music and tracker competitions. At 3 o'clock, we'll have the first Byte battle rounds. We will have a total of 4 of them today. Then at 3:30, we'll have the intro show for the best of 64 bytes or less. Another byte battle. At 4:30, we'll have the pixel graphics compo where we'll show you 60 plus entries of 256 pixels. And then we have a DJ set around 5, and at 6 we'll have another seminar for the Atari 8-bit size coding again with F Ready. 6:30 we'll have some segment Sushi Bar, which is some small 256-second seminar about different kind of stuff, which should probably be very interesting for a lot of you. Then in the evening, the meat of Saturday's package of wonder we'll have at 7 the best of 138 bytes intro show. At 8 the 32 byte compo. At 9 we'll have a byte battle. 9:30 we'll have the 128 byte intro compo. 10:30 the second byte battle, or actually the fourth byte battle of the day, and at 11 we'll have the high end 128 byte intro competition. DJ set by Ronnie to round up the night. I'm wondering how delayed this will be from all the entry stuff, but yeah, Helmut, what are you most looking forward to out of all these things coming up?
I think it will be the bite battle because I love the TIG 80 and I have an idea who's going to participate in the
Helmut,
rounds.
I have a challenge for you. You and
You have a
I,
challenge?
we're gonna bite battle. I want
Oh
a
my god!
bite battle against you. Not
Oh my
at
god!
not here at Lovebyte, but we will organize another bite battle, and you and me, we're on, buddy. We're on.
Okay, we're going to do this. I think I
Go on.
opted out because I have like real life stuff to do, and I don't want to come unprepared for such a competition. So this
Good.
is what
That gives me an advantage. So that I'm okay with that.
Okay, but we're going to do this anyway. I'm looking forward to this because I admire all the shader showdown gurus. They have a lot of skill, and I love the live action, like battling against time and the size at the same time, and also like having the competition. You see the two screens, you have the commentators, you have the chat. I think it's an awesome experience, and directly followed by, let me just have a look. I think by the 32 byte intro competition. I'm very excited to see all the other entries because I submitted 4, so I
Oh
will
wow.
see what the rest of the people bring to the table, and then I think 128 competitions. I mean,
I'm
everything is amazing here. So,
I'm curious on the 8-byte intro actually because I have no idea how you can show anything that is decent with 8 bytes. So I'm really curious if there's like anything that I will look at and say, wow, that's actually pretty decent. So I'm really looking
it's a
forward to see if I can be amazed.
it's a tough border. I mean, in 16 bytes, I think you can deliver some concept in 16 bytes. 8 byte, I guess it's you show something. You show like
Noise.
mostly noise, maybe a scrolling effect, maybe some descent or ascending sounds are maybe possible. But this is everything I say it's from a DOS perspective, because I have seen this famous 5 byte entry for some Atari platform, and it was surprisingly glitchy. I mean, it was basically like noise, but I
For the
didn't have
Atari
an
VCS.
yeah, that might be. So there was some they bit banged some sound registers and graphics. I don't know the hardware. So it was on 5 bytes, and I think the best you can do in 5 bytes is either a red screen or the famous Farbrausch 5 to the face demo. This is what you can do, and this is like, everybody knows that. But yeah. So in 8 bytes there might be stuff possible we have not seen yet, especially for the not so known platforms. So I also submitted something for 8 bytes. Like, there is stuff possible. You can move stuff around. You can trigger some sounds and whatever. But it's not a demo really. Like, it's not even an intro. It's like you can do something. So I'm amazed. I'm excited, not amazed. I hope I will be amazed. I'm excited to see what people come up with in their platforms. Yeah.
Okay. I think that's it. A lot of stuff to come up, and we still have one more day after Saturday. So the hype is real, guys. Hope you enjoyed the rest of the show.
I forgot something. Yesterday we heard Tio. There was a blasting set. I will totally download that when it will be available. And tonight we have Ronnie live, and I also love Ronnie's set. The last thing I can remember, he mixed totally like stuff I would have never imagined fits together, but he
He's
does
very
it in a way.
eclectic. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
he does it. He just does it. He's just like, this can be not mixed into this one. It can, and then he proves it. And every time I'm like, yes. So I'm totally looking forward to that as well. Yeah.
Okay. Well, enjoy the rest of the day, everyone. See you on the next video stream that we'll be hosting. Bye bye, everyone. Take care.